Hi, everybody, and welcome back to day 11 in our journey of how God meets your 5 deepest emotional and spiritual needs through his family, the church. And all this week, we're looking at the power of fellowship. And we've looked at how fellowship demands authenticity and involves simplicity. Now, here's a third ingredient you have to have if you want to build strong relationships with people. In real fellowship, people experience mercy. Not just authenticity and simplicity or sympathy, but mercy. Fellowship is a place of grace where mistakes aren't, rubbed into your life. Instead, they're just forgotten. Fellowships happen when mercy wins over justice. We all need mercy because we all stumble, we all fall, we all require help getting back on track. And we need to offer mercy to each other and be willing to receive it from each other. And when we do that, that's when fellowship happens. Let me give you a verse. God says this: when people sin, you should forgive and comfort them so they won't give up in despair. That's what the Bible says. Now, you can't have fellowship without forgiveness because we're all imperfect. And God warns, never hold grudges, because bitterness and resentment always destroy fellowship. You ever been in a church or a small group or a ministry where bitterness and resentment destroyed the fellowship? Because we're imperfect, because we're sinful people, we inevitably hurt each other, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. And we do it when we're together for a long enough time. And sometimes, as I said, we do it on purpose, but a lot of times we don't do it even realizing we've done it. Either way, it takes massive amounts of mercy and grace to create and maintain a true relationship, fellowship in a church or in a marriage or anywhere else. Now, the Bible says this: you must make allowances for each other's faults and forgive the person who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Are you doing that? God's mercy to us is the motivation for our mercy to others. Remember, you'll never be asked to forgive somebody else more than God has already forgiven you. And whenever you're hurt by someone, you have a choice to make. Am I going to use my energy and all my emotions for retaliation, or am I going to use it for resolution? Because you can't do both. Many people today are reluctant to show mercy because they don't understand the difference between trust and forgiveness. Forgiveness is letting go of the past. Trust has to do with behavior in the future. Now, get the difference here. Forgiveness and trust are two different things. Forgiveness has to be immediate. Whether the person asks for it or not, you have to forgive them. Because the Bible says you don't want to hold on to that bitterness and that resentment, that pain. Forgiveness is immediate, but trust must be rebuilt over time. Trust requires a track record. If someone hurts you repeatedly, you're commanded by God to forgive them instantly. But you're not expected to just trust them immediately. And you're not expected to continue to allow them to hurt you either. They have to prove that they've changed over time. So the best place to restore trust is actually within the supportive context of a small group. Why? Because it offers both encouragement and accountability. Now, there's a lot of other benefits that you're going to experience in building a small group where people show mercy to each other, because that's where real fellowship happens. But it's an essential part of your life and walk with God that you cannot overlook. For over 2,000 years, followers of Jesus have regularly gathered in small groups for fellowship. If you've never been a part of a group like that offered authenticity and sympathy and mercy, you really don't know what you're missing. We're going to talk about some more qualities the rest of this week, but today I want you to focus on showing mercy to people. Look at people and say, God has been merciful to me. How can I show mercy to them? God has cut me some slack. How can I cut them some slack? God has been gracious to me. How can I be gracious to others today? Practice it and see what happens as the fellowship gets deeper. See you tomorrow.